All right, soul, very interesting discussion, yes? Yeah. And, obviously, one of the things that I spent 2,000 years learning was some of the potentials of the soul. And it took ages to learn them, and particularly when you're the first person learning something, it's pretty difficult because you got nobody to, you got to really rely on the relationship with God to teach you things because there's no person who can tell you. So when there's people who can tell you, it's great because it means, somebody tells me about building something on Earth. It's great. I just watch what they've done. You can learn a lot from that. But when there's nothing to watch and nothing to learn from what a person has done, you've got to start from scratch with every experiment, with every learning. And that's sometimes quite difficult. Okay, so the soul. We've talked about the soul, with its duplex nature. So here's the soul. And obviously the soul can and does exist in the soul, what we classify as the soul universe, the universe where souls live. It's made of a different material that can't exist in the spirit world, and it can't exist here. So it only exists in the soul universe in the sense that that's where it lives. Because it's multi-dimensional space, the space that it inhabits is actually the same space that your physical body and your spirit body inhabit, because they're in different dimensional spaces. So the dimensional space in which your soul inhabits is a unique space of its own that also co-resides with the other spaces. The spirit space and the soul and the physical space are all the same space, interestingly enough.
What?
Does that mean that I know I have my spirit body, or I believe I have my spirit body sort of overcloaking my physical body?
Yep, it's larger than your physical body.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. Yep. Does it mean that my soul also is in the same?
Yep, same space.
Okay.
Yep, but in a different dimension.
Okay.
Makes sense? And so this is why when we talk in Badger dimensions is we say the soul inhabits your body, because it does really take up the same space or a similar space. It's larger than your spirit body and larger than your physical body, but it's substantially the same space, particularly if you haven't received any of God's love. It's substantially the same space. Your spirit body, though, is a little larger than your physical body. We'll talk about its characteristics in a minute. But it does occupy the same space as your physical body, but in a different dimension. Yep. Die, if you can die, and then jab.
So I think I've heard you say sometimes, or maybe I've read it, that like your soul can shrivel.
Yes.
So does that mean it does go down in size, or does it just mean that the faculties are all shut down?
It means the faculties are shut down.
So it still remains...
Still remains a similar size, but the faculties themselves and the energy coming from the body is destroyed through sin.
Right.
So it shrivels down. And the more you shut down certain faculties, such as the emotions and your beliefs and your sexual faculties that shut down, the more you shut down these faculties, the less your soul is able to absorb, the less energy it can absorb. And so you sort of need a softening of your soul in order to learn under those circumstances. Now, the primary way to soften your soul is to become emotional. So that's the primary way in which you soften up your soul for learning. Because your brain of your soul is your emotions.
And then as you start to do that, you start softening your soul and you're opening up more energetic pathways within your soul, are you? And it comes alive again in those certain spots.
Comes alive in those areas that you've softened to, yes.
And then that
anything where you're hard or desensitized, it's still hard and desensitized, yeah.
And then it doesn't appear in colour, does it, to spirits?
Yes, it does. Well, not the soul, but the emanations from the soul, the spirits that come out of the soul. Remember, I talked 2 weeks ago about God and God having spirit, which are energies coming out of the soul. or your soul has energies coming out of it, and those energies are displayed through the spirit body in colour. There are colours in the soul universe, much brighter, much more gradients than both the physical and spirit body can see. And so there's actually more colour. When you're in the soul union condition, you actually see far more colours. So you see even the nuances of a tiny, tiny emotion coming out of a person, which in the spirit form you would not see. That makes sense? Because you can't see the colour.